Europe, which already has a struggling economy, a declining industrial sector, and expensive energy, has yet another thing making things even worse. The euro is now at its lowest and most vulnerable point in the past 2 years. In this video, we'll conduct a detailed analysis of whether the euro is likely to weaken even further. Could it be that the lucky stars on the EU flag are gradually losing their brilliant shine and fading away? How many more unlucky stars will there be in the future? To provide additional support for our research on exactly how much weaker the euro could potentially get, just use this QR code. Or if you can't scan it, that's totally fine. Just watch this video all the way through to support Europe and help them get through this crisis. After all, none of us want to see anyone fall right before our eyes, right? Watch till the end and enjoy. This is the Mana Monster card. Let's take a look at the euro exchange rate first. Here is a graph showing the currency value. You can see the euro's value line dropping sharply like this. This marks the beginning of a currency crisis for the euro. This graph shows that the euro has weakened to its lowest point in the past 2 years, since 2022. And even though overall, it might seem like it's only dropped by 1%, because there are several other factors that have all come together, making it likely that this trend could continue, and it makes the overall economy look pretty bad. Before the euro weakened this much, it actually started with a crisis in the manufacturing sector, which I've talked about in several videos already, especially in Germany. Since it's such a big country, when a crisis hits, it feels even more severe than elsewhere. One of the reasons the euro has weakened this much is because investors are looking at the PMI index. PMI stands for Purchasing Manager Index. If we translate it formally into Thai, it's called the Purchasing Manager Index, but that still sounds confusing. Let me explain it in plain language. It's basically an index that shows how much purchasing managers at manufacturing companies are buying in terms of raw materials and inputs. Because these manufacturing companies need to know how many orders they're getting, right? If there are a lot of orders coming in, the purchasing managers will buy a lot of raw materials and inputs. But if there aren't many orders, the purchasing managers will buy less. So when there are a lot of orders, it means the economy is doing well. When there are fewer orders, it means the economy isn't doing so great. That's why they use the PMI as one of the indicators. To measure whether the economy is good or not, here's how you read the PMI. If it's at 50, that's the baseline. The economy is just steady, not really going up or down. But if the PMI is above 50, it means the economy is doing pretty well and heading in a good direction. If the PMI is below 50, that's a failing grade. The economy isn't doing well. In Europe right now, the PMI has been below 50 for 2 years already. Right now it's at 45, which means it's been failing over and over. There's no sign that it'll be able to bounce back and pass anytime soon either. And it's not just the manufacturing sector that's struggling. Even the service sector, domestic consumption, and spending within Europe are all doing poorly. Ordinary people just don't have money to spend on anything extra anymore because just paying for energy, electricity, and food at the supermarket has gotten way more expensive. But what's even more worrying than the EU's industrial sector right now is the euro currency. Because if the industrial sector collapses, not every country in Europe is a manufacturing country. So if the industry really goes down, it still only affects some countries or certain sections. But if the euro weakens, that means the entire pack, all 27 countries, will be hit. Right now, the euro is about where it was in November 2022. This current weakening of the currency is one of the fuels that stokes the fire in the loop of deindustrialization or the collapse of the industrial system in the European Union. Some people might say, well, if the currency weakens, that's actually good, right? It means you can sell goods at cheaper prices when exporting to other countries and all that. But remember, there was a case like this before with Japan. The yen weakened too, which should mean exports would do better. But even though the currency has lost significant value and exports have improved, the overall economy is in such a deeply troubled state that the boost in exports can't sufficiently compensate for all the other losses. And if anyone says, hey, but the EU still has a trade surplus, well, yes, the EU does have a trade surplus. They are indeed still exporting goods abroad, more than they have to import. But those numbers showing the EU exports more than it imports are actually another point of concern. Let's put a pin in that for now. I'll come back and explain what the problem is with having a trade surplus, and it's not a small issue. But first, let's talk about the EU's imports. Okay, so the EU has a trade surplus, meaning it imports less than it exports. But let's take a look at Europe's trade balance chart first. The blue line represents exports, and yes, exports are still higher than imports. However, the gap between exports and imports has narrowed compared to the previous quarter. In Q3 of 2024, the EU's exports decreased by 1%, while imports increased by 0.5% compared to Q2, which is the previous quarter. And the question is, so how much is the trade surplus? The surplus is 29 billion euros. Wow, that's still a lot, right? But it's actually 9 billion euros less than the previous quarter. So while it's true that there's still a surplus, the surplus graph is clearly trending downward. The question is, how much longer can they keep running a surplus? That means the EU is selling less, but has to buy more. Investors don't like this kind of balance sheet, and the public likes it even less. Because when the currency weakens, it means imports become more expensive, right? And the trend in the EU is that imports are increasing, which means they're importing inflation. Imported goods will get more expensive, and what does this affect? It affects real wages, which is income, which reflects the real purchasing power of the people, of all of us. That means it's not just about the amount of money we have in our hands. For example, if you earn a salary of 30,000 baht, but there's inflation, then your real wage, your actual purchasing power, isn't really 30,000 baht. It depends on how high inflation is. Your income gets reduced by that percentage. So when the currency weakens, imported goods become more expensive, so prices of products in the European Union will go up even more. That means the purchasing power of everyone using the euro, all 27 countries, will decrease. And let me tell you, the things Europe has to import aren't luxury goods. They're basic necessities, mainly energy and food. So no one among the people can avoid this impact. With inflation rising along with the weakening currency, this brings us back to the question, will the euro continue to weaken even more, and why? But since we're already talking about energy, let's address the energy problem thoroughly so we can have a clearer picture. The CEO of RWEAG, a major German company, posted on social media about the energy issues in the European Union, saying that on the evening of November 6th, electricity prices surged dramatically, up to 800 euros per megawatt hour. This price is 10 times higher than usual, and such expensive energy prices point to a serious problem. An energy shortage in Europe. This also means energy insecurity, because if, say, one evening the electricity bill suddenly jumps to 10 times higher, it means that in Europe, calculating costs, it becomes incredibly and exceptionally difficult. And if you can't calculate costs, how can you control prices when monthly electricity utility bills are on a roller coaster like this? In the end, as I mentioned, let's get back to the health of the euro. Can it get even weaker than this? Let's look at the underlying causes of the euro's current wounds first. In the European Union, the big exporting countries aren't just Germany. They export cars on a massive scale. France exports airplanes, which is also huge, plus luxury brand name goods. Italy is famous for its high-end leather products. So if the products that used to be popular and were the main drivers of the big European economies suddenly can't be exported anymore, That's the root cause of the wound that's going to make the euro's problems even bigger and deeper. Just think about it. It's pretty straightforward. If the currency of any country, and it does not have to be the euro, can stay strong, it is simply because of high demand. There is a lot of global demand for it. In the past, Europe has always been a major exporter, right? Everybody wants high-quality European products. Seriously, people say if you have a luxury European car or a fancy European designer bag, it is super cool. Everyone wants to have them. That is exactly why so many countries hold euros, so that they can buy these goods. Trade with Europe. In the past, the euro has been used in as much as 19% of global international trade. That's a huge amount. It's actually the second most used currency after the US dollar. But what if people no longer need to buy things from Europe? What if they don't want European goods anymore? Why would they keep holding euros, right? They wouldn't need to, or at least not as much as before. They wouldn't need to hold as many euros as they used to. And if European products aren't in demand by others, then people won't need to hold as many euros. That means the global demand for euros will naturally decrease, according to economic mechanisms. And any currency that sees a drop in demand will inevitably weaken in value. It's the same economic mechanism at work. To put it simply, if Europe's industrial sector hasn't recovered, goods still aren't selling, and people still don't want European products, then it's a clear trend that the euro will continue to weaken. Honestly, it looks like the lucky stars on the European flag aren't bringing much luck right now. And that's not all when it comes to those shining lucky stars turning into unlucky ones. As I mentioned earlier, Europe's trade surplus is another significant and complex issue. Let's take a look at this chart to see who Europe's trade partners are, the ones contributing to that surplus. The data is from Eurostat, and the chart is from Visual Capitalist. Just looking at the very top country on this list here is enough. The country that the EU sells the most to, or has the largest trade surplus with in the world, is the United States. Most recently, the surplus reached 47 billion euros. This means the US is Europe's most important market. It's Europe's main source of income. But in 2025, which is just around the corner, the United States will be led by a government under Donald Trump. Donald Trump, who plans to raise tariffs and impose trade barriers on everyone in the world. Europe will definitely jump in too, going from 0% up to 10%. The cost of goods in Europe is already high because energy is expensive and the currency is weak, so imports are even more expensive. That means the cost of goods will have to go up even more. America, which is Europe's most important market, is raising tariffs and imposing trade barriers on Europe by another 10%. That means European goods sold in America will end up being even more expensive. Now, if you want to know whether Europe will make it through this, we'll have to wait and see whether Europe and the United States, who have been close allies for a long time, if America will still support Europe. Will they, Val?